All right, and we are live. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today, we are going to be finishing up the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and I'm pretty excited about that because this game has definitely delivered and more on top of what the original game provided, with so much more dialogue, so many more stupid scenarios, and so many more meta situations in which the game is aware of itself and the community around it. The only thing missing is just the narrator saying poggers. But you know, we still have time today. It's Thursday today. I had a pretty, very relaxed day. I didn't have work today, which was kind of nice, but also sucks because more families keep canceling, um, which means I'm not getting paid. So instead, I spent the day starting a new Elden Ring character because I hate myself and I want to destroy my sleep schedule at every opportunity that I have. And I'm going for a different build this time around. So I'm starting from zero, and I am reliving the trauma of how hard the first few bosses are at really early levels. I'm not being patient to actually explore everywhere around, and I'm kind of just gunning it for the bosses, and I'm definitely taking the mental damage from it. But playing a girl this time, and I made her look like Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. And I'm gonna try to make her a punch girl, maybe with some faith. Um, we'll see, but I'm definitely gonna try to avoid putting points into intelligence and points in dexterity this time around, since that was what I mainly had focused on with my previous character. Anyway, unrelated. That's what I spent most of my day doing. Um, and yeah, I still have cosplay stuff to work on for the uh, eventual celebration when we hit affiliate. But I will post more on that soon. Um, and that's about it. Tomorrow is Friday, and depending on how I'm feeling, we'll see if I do any extra bonus streams. Currently, I've had ideas on the mind of just wanting to do a bonus game after Stanley Parable, since we'll have time. I don't know how much content we have left in this game, but if we do have extra time, I have an idea. So we'll see. We'll see how the stream goes. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the Stanley Parable and just pop that in. Stanley beat the game and thought it was the best game ever, surely to get Game of the Year. Stanley knows his audience. Stanley is a gamer. Again, fingers crossed that we can get the narrator to say poggers by the end of the game. Right, are we gonna get any like silly intro this time? Right, he said you could set it to your favorite time. Well, I do like that time. Oh, you set the time to 12. After my big speech about how impressed I was that you weren't just inputting 12, you go and do it anyway? I don't know how to feel about this. Maybe it is 12 actually your favorite time of day. Do you just truly love 12? Because if you do, well, let's just say I spent a lot of time being mad at the people who set the time to 12. But I've been unfairly vilifying them for their love. Have I been unfairly vilifying them for their love of 12? Perhaps. Well, let's settle this with a slider. Ooh. How unfair is it to dislike people whose favorite time is 12? I'd say it's pretty unfair. Not completely. You know, I can just say, regardless of whether it's actually midnight right now, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I agree. Collecting data is very good. It's very informational. I wish we had more sliders, but we've got to go through all the sliders we have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on me. Shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, the next time we boot up the game. All right. So when we finish this, we'll try rebooting a couple times and see if we get any new messages. Right, it's just called the Stanley Parable 2 now. Right, because we went through the whole thing of this game is now the sequel. Test achievement, please ignore. Commitment for the entire duration of a Tuesday. Well, I don't know about that. Click on door 430 times. We got that. Complete the Stanley Parable under 4 minutes and 22 seconds, not including load times. Jesus. Setting world champion. And super don't go outside. Don't play this game for 10 years. Well, I don't think we're going to get that one. We could probably get speedrun by just running off into getting an ending as fast as we can. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's begin. Now, unfortunately, last time we had like some progress.
This is the story of a man.
Yes, that's right. I know. We had made some progress, and then I accidentally hit begin the game again when I meant to quit to menu. So we're gonna see how this goes. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now, I'm a little curious as to what happens when I take the bucket.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Makes me want to jump off with it and see what happens. So now we get an abrupt ending being like, Stanley's very powerful for killing himself, yes. No new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Right.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the No. Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No, it was shit.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Alright.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Thank you. Alright, so we hadn't gotten that one yet. I guess the whole 4-2 endings thing is just building upon the original endings with some added quips, with adding stuff like the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but
It's
Stanley
true.
is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
It's true. This is my bucket. Cannot be taken from me. Still no new content door. Alright. I see you.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure did. Alright, let's see. How do we unlock the new content again? I don't remember.
Still no
What's the
one was
trigger?
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, that just opens off the bat. Okay, wasn't expecting that. World's bossiest boss. Wait, does this mean I have to beat the original game again in order to unlock the extra content? Is it, how do I do that again?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it
I
the
think
bucket knew all along? Was
I'm
the
just gonna go for a
bucket
generic
guiding
ending
him?
right now.
Yes,
But
this
I
is certainly
think
the most logical explanation.
we can beat the game again simply by ignoring what the narrator says, riding the lift, and then unplugging the phone. I think that will change it.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Thank God for
Soothing him,
buckets,
comforting
really.
him,
Where would we be
reassuring
without
that
our
in this
bucket?
darkest moment of uncertainty,
Scared
he
shitless,
would
that's
be
for sure.
right. The
I know
bucket
I would
is
be.
here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. See? Bucket knows, narrator knows.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
There's a camera here. Never noticed that.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind
I don't
control
know if I did this with the
facility,
bucket yet.
he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered.
Okay, I haven't done
Stanley
this
and
yet.
the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yeah, why not?
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here.
Oh my God!
Cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Paninis.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home.
Yeah,
In
this
fact,
place is
after
nice.
some time,
This is very
Stanley
homely.
realized that
Got
it had
some
been
china.
ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility.
You know, it's so nice of IKEA
This
to,
lack
like,
of closure began to eat at him. Soon he
send
was
their
dwelling on
furniture
his
all the way down
regrets,
here.
and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley
No.
became withdrawn
No.
and neglected the cleaning.
Oh no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
It's true.
This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible.
Listen, I brought the bucket down here. It's not its fault.
Inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly...
Listen, this is
if we
just where
accept
we
the
need to
reality
be
of
right
things,
now,
maybe
alright?
this will
Is in a
become
chasm.
an ending eventually.
Yeah.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two
Sure.
of them waited for a very long time.
Oh no. So was it? It was. That's another ending. All right. We got that one. All right. That's an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley
It's true.
checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Yep. Now about the story. I'm out of here.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Me and the
This was not
bucket
the
are
correct way to
leaving the
meeting room.
narrative.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
This
end
bucket
where
is
he
so
lounged
heavy with the
was
weight of
simply
all
the
my
place to
decisions.
be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this...
No.
Never mind. The bucket
Oh.
was wrong.
Never mind. I love
Stanley
that
took
delivery.
The door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
He just sounds so miserable.
No.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It
Don't worry
should have
about it.
alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about
Listen,
this
this bucket can talk, and I'm proud of him. I love him.
The bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
It's a good bucket. And hold all of my cleaning
In here,
supplies.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now, I don't remember if we pulled the cord from the phone.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket. Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Oh no, he's mad.
Oh, goodness. I must
He's
have really
mad 'cause I
bungled up the
sandbagged
delivery
him.
If you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh God.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Okay, sure. Yeah, all right. Help me be a better streamer. Help me be
What
funny.
is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
Oh, God.
And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper.
All right.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
All right,
To
I'm
begin
trying.
the joke, start by stating and spelling your name.
Am I back? All right, I think I'm back. I just watched the little box just take a big shit and just stay at 0 kilobytes per second. Upload was just gone. Hopefully that wasn't for super long. Anyway, I paused it as soon as I noticed that it's going red again. I can wait. And Stanley waited for his computer and the internet to stop lagging. Hopefully, they could get back on track with the Let's Play and continue on with their lives. Are we good? Are we good? Keeping an eye on you. Not you. The internet. Got my eye on it. Alright. Anyway, we're learning how to be funny.
Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
Okay, alright.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds.
Oh, God.
And no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I am Danny with the funny.
You better be laughing.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management,
Well, this guy's
which is
face.
the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
All right, so
An
you're all going to
effective
fill out like a
survey should be
20-page
no
survey,
less than 10 pages
and you'll
long,
receive
and should
nothing.
include the
Sorry.
same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
That is a
And that's all
tactic.
there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter. And
Can we
even
talk about why
tripled
everybody is yellow?
in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
Oh, you.
After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the
What the
war
fuck?
to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our
What?
very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and
Oh,
their
God.
children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Okay. This took a very different turn.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well,
Yeah, the
never
war
mind.
happened like 20
I
years
think
ago.
The fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So, with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
All right. You know, you could just teleport me there. Fine. Hold up. Fine. Can't go in there. Sorry, my camera controls are all fucking backward in my head right now because Elden Ring
I
has it
can feel
reversed.
it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a
How absurd.
hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now?
Well,
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
certainly
The
wouldn't be
bucket
Dunny with the
spoke
funny.
to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Stop lying. Stop that shit. Get me out of here. The narrator's trying to prove a point, and I'm not for it. Alright, back to the doors. Let's see what we got this time. You know, in the usual scenario when this happens, the game starts getting a little fucky. The game cannot handle the fact that we are a real person and not Stanley. Alright.
Here we go.
What do you got?
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No. Sorry, I thought I heard another door open. But I guess the other one was just delayed. Oh, that's horrifying. I'm sorry. I didn't realize going in the wrong door meant we were going to the void. Hey, Miggy. You tutoring at the moment? Alright, man. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Alright, well, let's enter the unknown. Oh, God.
We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone.
Yeah.
Now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes,
Yeah, but
sure,
watch it at
that
like
will help
0.5
me
speed.
through my-
Oh, God. Never mind.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
I'm scared. Dare we do it again? Probably gonna do the same thing again. Yep.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Understood.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
All right, fine. Twist
No, no, no,
Twist
no,
my
no.
arm.
You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this was all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
I'm sorry, I
I'm going
didn't
to be
realize we were
ridiculed
doing
in
the rule of
community
3.
Other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on.
Oh,
All
fuck.
because you couldn't
For
watch
fuck's
a
sake.
simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh, okay.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley.
Well, I suppose there's the other ending.
You are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar.
I saw it.
No. We're getting away from making fun of
Alright.
Stanley's obsession with the bucket.
So I was right. It was pulling the phone out, which is how you get to the,
Jokes.
you leave the story.
More instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the
I mean, technically, this is a new ending,
more instructional.
but it's like the ending that is specific,
Let's see.
to the Ultra Deluxe. Anyway, buckets at least with me. All right. Can we go back to the new content? All right, I think we're good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
means
to the meeting room. Perhaps
that
he had
I-
simply missed a memo.
We'll grab a bucket.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
Okay, not what I expected. All right. Well, this is different.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Well, let's try this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the
Simply
bucket turned out to be
amazing, this
correct?
place
Was
to
this-
be.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Go down here. We're kind of in like freeform exploring mode because the extra content is unavailable right now, which is bizarre.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
I remember this.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
Oh, look at these
Don't you want
textures.
another story involving the Adventure
Oh, that's
Line?
delicious. I
We could
love
make
that.
The Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee!
Sure.
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Uh-huh. Engine import functioning. I would like to leave the narrative again in a different spot. Fine. Let me out.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't
Is
you
it?
remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
The bucket. My virginity. My social security card. Oh, you can have all of those. A lot of good that'll do you, though.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Oh, right! We
This
didn't do the other
is
thing
the
here yet.
Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Alright, sure, let's destroy the
Go
thing
ahead
we
now,
love.
Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Alright.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That
I'm
is
trying.
its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters?
I'm
Well, you
trying!
see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not.
I'm
I wonder
trying,
what
my
sort of
dude.
Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans
I
will be
can't get rid of the
clamoring for
bucket.
after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't
Get in
back to
there!
the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer. And you crushed that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the
I'm
fans
trying!
what they want. Hurry and...
Oh! I was standing right in front of that. F's in the chat for the bucket destroyer.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I tried. You could see like the bucket like twisting towards me. But like you only have like one functional button, which is pressing A. And it wasn't doing anything else when I mashed it. Or when I held it. Okay. Can we go do that again? If nothing happens, I'll just reset. Oh. Okay. You know, we're gonna skip the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Alright, I'm gonna try to mess
Yet
with
there
the...
was not a single person here either.
Mess with
Feeling
the narrative
a
here a
wave of
bit.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I am feeling a little unsettled though, since we are bucketless. No maidens, no buckets. Truly sad.
Stepping in...
So now I'm curious, because we opened that door and all the other doors. Is there anything else open and available to us right now? Let's see. Broom Closet Coon is still here. That's good. He's needed. Necessary. Alright. Aha! New content is back. Well, wait. Is it? The sign's here. But this is a different ending. And the bucket's gone. Ooh, there's some shenanigans happening right now. Alright. Let's see how we can absolutely just destroy this. Oh, they put up a barrier. So they purposely put up a barrier here so you can't use the window during this ending. Interesting. Alright, well. I guess we're leaving. I sure am. What if I want to go back? What if I have to change my mind? No. You are loaded into a room without any decision. Any option here. Okay. Fine. I'll leave. I'll see everyone later. Including the narrator. Goodbye. Fair fucking well. It's strange. The game defaulted to a different hallway when we decided to go for this ending. It went back to the normal one, but added the new content sign. So am I able to access it again? Do I need to do a certain number of endings before it opens? I'm not sure. But I don't want to restart in case it kills it again. But the sign was there, so we all saw it. All right. Into the escape pod we go. Goodbye. All right. What do we have now? Is everything back to normal?
A
Seems
soft
so.
wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Someday. Someday.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
I'm a little confused. Because now it's gone. The sign's gone. What the hell?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I hate to redo a bunch of these scenarios, but...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket.
We're gonna jump.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Uh-huh.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Did I? Did I, though? I think that is false.
No, stop.
Ah.
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you...
That sign cannot stop me because I cannot read.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game.
Now,
if not
I wonder if
addressed
it's
quickly and
worse.
properly.
I wonder if it's worth
So much of the
doing
impact of
the
story
recognize the bucket
depends
minigame
on your
and then get the
understanding
correct
of what
answers
is
based
and
on doing this
isn't
at least
a bucket.
once.
Please, step in here for a moment.
Fine. I'll take your test. I will prove that I know what is and what isn't a bucket.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Alright, I'm ready.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Alright, well, we're doing great.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Wrong.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
So it's wrong. Oh no. Hey, Celtic Warrior.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
I'm mostly doing this so I can figure out what, like, the actual sequence of, like, correct and wrong answers is. Oh, we have, like, wait music while we figure this out. That's good. Excuse me while I just write this down, though. I have scratch paper around here, don't I? I should have scratch paper. It's a fucking desk. What kind of desk doesn't have scratch paper? This is my desk. Certainly, somewhere, there should be some scratch paper. Fuck it. Ugh, blank envelope. Alright. How you doing, Celtic Warrior? How's work going for you? How was your day? Alright, so... Bucket. Quiz. 1. It's an X. Number 2 is an X. Number 3
Correct.
is
This is a bucket.
a bucket. Number 4.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Okay, I remember this. This is not a bucket.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Alright.
Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna say yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Alright, I remember that one.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
That's not a bucket. We just saw a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Okay. Whatever.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Oh, right. And then we have to wait.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless,
Okay.
is that what you think?
We
Answer
have
me
some
straight,
new
Stanley.
dialogue here.
Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I
Someday
a
we'll find out
bucket?
what a bucket is. Am
Stanley,
I a bucket?
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing
No.
myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Except for
My
you.
God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you,
I'm starting to
Stanley,
think that it
you're
doesn't
still
matter whether
here.
or not you get the
You're not a
answers
bucket
correct or
either.
wrong.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you
Did
what,
we have a game in the 1st
I'll
place?
reset
I'm not
everything,
really sure.
and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay, fine.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
New content. All right, we have the narrow hallway again. Sure.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, surely not.
Who knows? I could be. Okay, let me think of some of the possibilities we can do with the bucket. If we go up to the boss's office, we can go down the mind control shaft. We can... trying to think.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Here, there's a quick ending.
This
if we
was
can
not
go
the
to
correct way
the
to the meeting room.
we
But
can get to the
Stanley had
vent.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
All right, let's go to...
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Nah, we're going to the vent, baby. It's Among Us time. All right, we get this creepy videotape.
Day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always...
I'm writing
the
down these numbers that
same
he's mentioning
feeling.
in case they have any significance. I low-key doubt it,
Emptiness
but
in my chest when
if I
I
can't
set it
get to
down.
the new content scenarios again,
Make sense.
I might look
There's
up
no
a flow chart.
explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. why everything feels
There really should be a
so...
skip button, though, for when you get through these scenarios again, just to, like,
What
advance.
do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket.
It's
But I
certainly
have to
something,
be
I'll give it
careful,
that.
because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
Creepy. Gumbarata was like mentioned somewhere else too, and I don't remember what it was. The narrator said it at some point. Alright. 295 and 252.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Oh, that's weird. The tape that was here is gone. Huh. That's weird. Well, I might as well start that.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps
Sure
his
do.
boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Or we could go downstairs. No, that still leads to the same ending where we go crazy. Let's go end the world. Or at least end ourselves.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now,
There's like
in his
something to
darkest
interact
of
with here, and I
hours,
can't
did
figure
the
out what it
bucket's
is.
warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sure
Was
did.
it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, Bucket. You're in for a wild ride next. I said. Thank you. Now, there's an achievement that's left out of this game because this is not on a PC. In the original game, because it worked off the Half-Life's,
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
The Half-Life engine, the Half-Life 2 engine specifically, source, there was a way to get into the game's console commands and enable cheats, and the narrator would punish you for
The
being a
lights
cheater.
rose on an
And I think that was
enormous
its own
room
ending.
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
252, 234. 234 is corrupted. I'm sure none of these numbers actually like have any
Was
meaning.
the bucket under the mind control
But
facility's
234 is fucked
influence
up.
as well? Had the bucket been told to
104
do
is
things
fired.
it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Alright, up we go.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
I love you,
At this
bucket.
point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Now there is more content, which is what I'm confused about because I've
But
seen it.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
So I remember
For
that.
he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Too bad. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
What?
Birds. Silly birds.
Silly
The
birds.
control buttons became active again.
What? This is different. Oh. Oh, this is so pleasant. Yes, give me bird. Flamingos! Oh, flamingos are such silly birds. I
Stanley
love
flipped
this.
through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
This is so
The
dumb.
mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards
Okay,
this
it's like a
incredible
backward and
discovery.
forward.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one
That's it.
was surely the best.
You know what?
Stanley
Great decision. I am happy. So many silly birds for me to look through forever. Alright. Nothing has changed. I am now convinced that I think I have to either just reset.
Stanley had never
Or-
seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
No, if I can see that that door's not open here, then there's nothing. Alright, let's go get the real out of
When
body
Stanley
ending
came to
again.
a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it.
Because that's how we unlocked it the
well.
first time. So I guess
Perhaps he
because
wanted to
beginning
stop
it
by
again
the
means, oh,
employee
by the
lounge
way,
first,
you're
just
going to
to
start
admire
all
it.
the way over, and you have to unlock
here it
the
was,
bonus content
The
again.
lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Stanley was so bad at following directions. It's
Stanley
incredible.
was so
He
bad at
wasn't
following
fired years ago.
directions, It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Sorry, I'm too
realize
busy
that
working here on
investing your
the
trust in
scaffolding.
someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please.
Oh God,
stop
I have a
trying to
daughter.
make every decision by yourself.
I've left her at school 5 years
I'm not
ago.
asking for me. I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. Oh,
No.
no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
I sure
That
did.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No,
Apologies, folks, if
Stanley
you've
here,
seen
clear as
these
day.
scenarios
Stanley
already.
picks up the
I
phone.
literally don't
He's
know
taken to his apartment
how to
where he
get back
finds
to
his wife,
the
and
new
two
game
pledge
content.
themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
And I
How's
can't
that
skip
even
this, because if I... There's the only option is to begin the game again.
possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're
Stanley, stop shaking your
You're
ass.
a real person. I can't
Yes, narrator,
believe
say
I was
hello to
so
Twitch.
mistaken. This is why you've
Say
been
hello
able
to
to
chat.
make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
I am...
Choice.
Sure.
It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, is it 7:59? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack. How was that?
Excellent.
Nice.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Giga
Most
chat
medical
decisions.
professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful, and
Don't
whether
worry,
you'll ever make a
they're not.
significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant.
They
and
sure
the feeling
are.
should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
We are alone in this universe, which
Welcome
is
back.
why we have video
You may
games.
have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry.
What if I just
Now
plug
that
it back
you're
in?
properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Boy, this scene looks familiar.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just
Wouldn't
need
it?
to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
No, unfortunately not. Ah, thank you. Where's their coffee mug? Just right here. Who's drinking coffee in the warehouse? Also, why does the
Almost
employee
there.
lounge
You'll take the
like
door on
lead
the left,
directly to the
back
warehouse?
the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
In the real world. Yes.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ow, God, my fucking forehead.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
No!
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here
It's
like
funny.
so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it
Oh, the
better to
world
shut
is
the game
fucked back
down
here.
entirely, to willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the answer? What do I do?
What?
What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have
stuck.
to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
There's a wall of printers. Oh god, that's horrifying. You know, I've never actually went back to see that happened before. I'll come back to the 2 doors.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought he was so clever. Now here we are.
You.
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Rude.
My story.
My soul.
If
Boo-hoo.
you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been
I doubt
so
it.
perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he shat on the floor. He pulled down his trousers, whipped it out, and helicoptered his way out of the facility.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, right.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
All right, we'll do it together.
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, am I not speaking clearly enough? Because
sorry,
I'm pretty
sir,
sure I did.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver.
Please?
Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay,
Bazinga.
fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you
I got
for
cold
this
feet.
one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had
God,
to
I
show
wish
you,
I were
then why
Stanley.
did you
He has
come
a
here?
bucket.
You had
I don't
choice,
have a
you know.
bucket.
You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
You coward!
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Oh, cool, we're back
he
here.
entered the door on his left.
Burst my knuckle.
Stanley? Hello? Are you...
Hello?
Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to
Alright,
me?
we've gone through two...
Can you hear me?
We're gonna have to be going through
Is
two
everything all right?
credit sequences now, and if this doesn't bring me back to the extra content, then I don't know what will. If anything, the game seems bugged, and I might need to just restart it.
You understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply
But
need you
I'm
to
just
take that
hoping
step
that
forward,
this does it.
please. Choose
And that it didn't work the first time because I had the bucket with me.
anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
No.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Alright, you motherfucker. I've waited long enough. Please don't make me end this episode after an hour. Oh, God. I forgot this is something that can happen, too. Randomly, this can just happen where there's just a whole bunch of papers littered on the floor.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Oh, I hate this. The door's still closed? Really? The fuck?
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
This is upsetting. This is genuinely upsetting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What happened? All right. Let's load this up one more time. I can't figure out why I can't get back to the new stuff. That really can't be it. If it is, then I guess we did everything. I'm just surprised we only went through the new content door like 3 or 4 times. Huh. I guess I will have to look up a flowchart. Oh, we got more sliders, that's right. Barely visible. Yeah! They are friends. Okay. I will stop adjusting the slider right here. Which of the two made-up words are most appealing to you? Ocuboinkle or scrumtish? I'm a good fan of a good scrum, but Ocuboinkle has just such a good bouncy feeling to it. I'm gonna go Ocuboinkle. But not completely, because Scrumtush still has some gumption to it. Say no more. I do know what time it is right now. I believe so. What is time anyway? No. We're not having this conversation. Yes. So many things. Help. No. Yes. Maybe. We'll see. I'm so confused.
This is
This?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, well, the new content's still not here. But this is here, apparently. I don't know what that means. Alright. We're gonna look up a flow chart. Deluxe flow chart. Because apparently I have to do research now in order to get more content out of the game. Okay. Alright, I'm looking at this. Out, song, voiceover. Kill bucket. Monitor room, secret disco, trapped life, silly bird, and bomb. Cargo, cold feet, cushion bucket. That's right. Monetize, recording, quiz show bucket. Um, I'm not seeing. After 3 playthroughs for first run, after epilogue for subsequent. I'm not seeing how to get back to the new content. I'm not seeing how to do this. Huh. I think we did it all, gang. Well, it says that we have to restart at least 5 times. I don't know if we've restarted 5 times yet. Let's try that. Maybe we'll get the blue office soon. Oh, cool. Is this controller drifting now? Oh, that's fun. I've already sent this into Nintendo at least once. That's great. Cannot wait to do that again. Well then. It looks like we got the last few.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Yes. We're leaving with our bucket.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since.
Now there's an epilogue that we completely missed out in the new content stuff. But The game says that you have to restart it at least 5 times. Or does that mean getting like five endings to get the new content again?
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes. I love that bucket.
All right, I think that's it then. Well, that's kind of disappointing because I really wanted to see the epilogue, but I can't get to it. And I'm not being given a choice here.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great. One man, one bucket. One chance to seize their destiny together.
All right, then. I guess we're done with the Stanley Parable, then. Thank you guys for watching this, because I can't figure out how to go back to the new content. Nothing here is giving me any option to do so. So I guess we're going to move on to something new then, which is fine. I didn't think this would last the whole 3 hours.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
It said that I can't put the bucket down, at least. Once you got bucket, you never go back.
Still no one was here. Stanley...
Let's see if we get anything new restarting a 3rd time. What do you got for me now? Any more sliders? Are we out of sliders? Now I'm hungry for sliders. Does anyone really truly know what time it is? Of course nobody knows anything. You and I don't know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to execution, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. You know, like any day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information to gather. You've collected all the data on me that you can. And you still don't really know me. And I don't know you. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess just some settings that are just unsettable. But I have a watch. I know what time it is. If I'm being totally honest, clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here and the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games weren't meant to be played alone. But I like being alone. It's the information I really learned about me. Well, time to leave. Still, there's one more setting that you need to adjust, and it may take a little time before we're ready for that. It's not really my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you meet me again if you can find me. Talk soon. There's the epilogue. All right, I'm glad we at least did this one more time before I called it quits. This was the last thing I hadn't seen yet. Many, many years later, now that we have beaten the game and gotten all of its endings. Oh, I see. You're an epilogue. Fuck you. Alright, we're in the desert. This just looks like regular California. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up, everyone. Welcome to Calexico. That rock over there is the McDonald's. Ah, yes. A warm chair to keep me nice and cozy by this cold fire. So pretty. Wow. Moon! Hello, Moon. Wonderful. Ugh. We've unearthed new chairs in the storm. Close your eyes, everyone. You don't want to get sand in them. We have to get through the storm together. Just push on through. We can do it together. We must forge. Forge on for our new life ahead. The Stanley Parable 2 is over. And only the unknown awaits us. Okay, we made it. And there's nothing left for us to do. But to pass on. Moon. Moon. I wonder how far this goes out. Oh. The memory zone. It's been unearthed. Ah, let's go relive our memories in the memory zone. You know, I still haven't used up all my jumps. We were going to relive our memories of the Stanley Parable 2. Wait, what? Let me in. I remember the Stanley Parable 2 just like it was yesterday. Oh? Log. Ah, the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teemed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get uninspired side quests and collecting figurines. Even this version feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from blah, 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 blah. Oh. There's that. This cat-dog friendship will last forever. Pet pals. We got pretty close. Thank God. I was rooting for that cat and dog. The Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs. No more sequels. From Real Web. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that the Stanley Parable is not just what the fans want. Reads the press release. We thought we had a vision for the series that the players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game, and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Alright. Ah, yes.
Jim.
Ah, I miss being Jim.
Jim.
Thank God. Thank God that Jim Button's last didn't survive.
Jim. Stanley.
Huh? That's me.
Jim. Stanley. Jim.
There was one that said Stanley. That's me.
Stanley.
Oh, wonderful. What's that? I'm sure it's some sort of Easter egg. It's not meant for me. Oh, the Stanleys! The Stiggly Figglies! Oh god, I kept track of all of them. I like that there's a surplus of them. Now we have all the figurines. No one can tell us that we don't. Whoa. Oh, okay. We're back in the office. Thank you for enjoying the new content. So this is the end of the new content then. So you got there by playing and restarting the game at least a number of times and booting it at least 5 times. Boop. I found you! Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Persevere the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred, and we do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground and drag it through the mud and back. And if the people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we're going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also read a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining the random words together to make a new title for our game. Alright. Stanley Parable 3. Let's see. Part 5. The Challenge. Let's see. Stanley Parable 3, the last ever. Stanley Parable 3. Oh, okay. So this has to be the first part. Okay. It's either me or the boyfriends. It's either me or the hole punch. It's either me or the... Okay, so that's how you go back. It's either me or the boyfriend, Stanley. You must choose. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the numbers for the sequel by 1, and we'll pick a new subtitle. That way the Stanley Parable will never end, and nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Shall we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as special as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not, and I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see? I'm on your side. We're in this together. Let's go. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. And I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. For old time's sake. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Alright, that's what I wanted. And welcome to Stanley Parable 3. It's either me or the boyfriends. That's amazing. Should we go get that extra achievement that was initially broken when we first found it? I think we should. I say we shall. And then we're going to go through a test run of a randomizer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's bucket time.
It is bucket time. And the new content has returned.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
thank you for playing.
So I'm going to go ahead and begin the game again, because I think once we go through here a second time, then the new content will be back, and that's where we can get the achievement, rather than having to sit through that whole thing again. Hopefully. I hope that's how it works. If it doesn't, I'm going to be pissed.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
Oh, no.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I guess you have to sit through it. That's fine. While this is going, I'm going to go ahead and get the new thing that I wanted to get ready. Not me.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let's take our
Wait,
bucket with
Stan,
us.
I've just now realized that bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel.
All right, we got a little bit of
Good
bonus
try,
dialogue for
Stanley.
bringing it with us.
Isn't this the preview to the sequel?
Nope.
How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
I love that they even like acknowledge that. Like, what are you doing?
Hold
How
on.
are you doing this?
Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Oh gosh. Sorry, hopefully I'm not too crackly in this upload right now. My computer's doing a couple of things at once right now. Alright, let's take our bucket with us. Oh, hey, it kept track of my jump circle.
Right, let's see, it's the jump
And that's it. And I guess you would have gotten special like dialogue if the jump circle was empty.
of them are ready yet. I'm developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
I think you did all right. I enjoyed all the new content.
Wait, if you're around with you, talking to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes. Carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win.
Good for you. I'm glad. The narrator deserves to win once in a while. All right. Let's go get that achievement.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It also looks like we're having a bit of a sound delay. 1 second. All right. That should be better.
It's bucket time.
It is bucket time. Ha! Weird how the new content sign loaded back in when we brought the bucket and then left. Anyway, take me to the expo hall.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
All right. We're here again.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Now, what happens if we have 2 buckets? Wait, hold up. Before we do that, where is our free achievement? Ha! I found you, faker. Faker? You're comparing yourself to me?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Alright, watch this. Ha ha!
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God.
Oh, God. It's stressing him out.
Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Right. That should be done. And then... I'm gonna leave that here. I don't want to broadcast window out. Sorry if this is a little unorthodox right now. I'm just setting up the other windows right now. All right.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I'll get there. In due time, Mr. Narrator. All right. Let's go bring the bucket to the other bucket. Let's cause a paradox. Just pick it up.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Oh!
Stanley! Oh, thank God. I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy
No!
both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Rip bucket. 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 No! Oh. Well, I guess there's nothing left now but to bring our entire collection of figurines to the figurine room. That's new. You've already been here. All right. And where's the epilogue?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Where is the epilogue? Office decorations, we already did that. Wait, can we change the office decorations to the other balloons?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
There we go. So now we changed it to the other one.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Infinite Hall, collectibles. Oh, I guess the epilogue is gone since we already did it. Oh. Let's go to the exit then. Say goodbye, Stanley. Goodbye, Stanley.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
We left their bag here.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely
I believe
a good
him.
game in there somewhere. Say,
Somewhere.
let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
All right.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Homie, we're on the Stanley Parable
Let me see if I
3.
can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay, now it's back to this. All right. Well then. That is all for the Stanley Parable 2, aka Ultra Deluxe. I had a lot of fun with that. It got a little frustrating at times, but we figured it out. It's not really stated how you get to the epilogue. I skipped it out. I skipped on it during the first time through the expo, and that's on my bad because I didn't realize what would lock me into progress, but that's okay. I have something else that I want to do now. So I will literally be back in just a second, and then we will do some, we'll do something. Yeah, we'll do something. All right. See you guys in just a second.